Hello and welcome to the Triple Tap Gaming Podcast, a podcast about games, industry and culture. We are your hosts Azan,
Adib,
and Izhar.
How are you laughing?
We did it.
Yeah,
we
that's fine. That's fine. Okay, lovely.
Okay, that's a good
We don't
start.
need to. Let's not dwell.
We nailed
Let's
the
not dwell.
intro. But
We
the
did
fact that we're celebrating
That
the
was-
fact that we nailed
why
the
was that
intro,
so
we
tense?
kind of
That was
screwed up
like
the
the most
intro.
It was
intense
so tense.
opening
it was
I've
so
had
tense. It was so
in a
tense.
very long time.
'Cause we were thinking about whether or not we were going to mess up, and we did it. We did it. We literally did it.
Yeah,
Okay.
first
Okay,
take.
cool.
Good. That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
First take.
Right.
First
Yes.
How,
First try.
How are we all? Yeah. How are we all doing? You guys good?
It's a Friday.
Friday.
Not that it matters for
That
you,
was so cringe.
student.
Friday. It's Friday. That was so cringe.
Friday.
That was good though. I'm good. Yeah, the weather's been better this week, so that's been a lift up
Yeah.
for
Nice,
everyone's
nice.
mood. Apart
I'm
from,
liking your mug,
today
by
and
the
yesterday.
way.
Oh wow! I didn't even realize you guys
my
look.
god, that's good. Okay, well, don't say anything just
Bro.
yet because we will get onto it.
I didn't
Well,
realize.
you guys will see. You guys are going to see why that's such a big deal. But wow, that's fortuitous. Okay,
What do you
very
think
good.
of my bed?
Can't, well, yeah, I can't
What do
really
you think
see
of my
it, but
bed?
it's oh wow, I love
Fuck!
it.
But,
Colours.
okay, right.
Okay, all right. You
Yeah.
know what?
Well,
You'll
let's
see
not
it
say
in the
anything about
video
this.
on YouTube. You can't see it
Yeah,
because
okay,
I'm using a different
okay.
camera.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
got
I'm
it,
not-
got it.
Audio listeners, yeah, audio listeners. Watch the YouTube, okay? You got to watch the YouTube to get all the special bits. Otherwise, you don't, get to
Or
fully
don't
enjoy
watch
it.
because you're just watching three guys talking at a screen. You know, it's up to you.
Hey!
You know what?
Excuse me. No, it's three very good-looking men. Okay?
Yeah, but what if
Very
they're
good
what if they're
looking,
driving?
very
you know? What if they're
charismatic,
driving
very-
on a long drive? Don't
If
watch
they are
our YouTube.
driving, they should crash the car to watch our damn podcast, okay? Okay.
We're a big
No,
deal.
okay,
We're
okay,
number
don't do that, don't do
70
that.
in the
We're
video
actually,
games.
No, legally we'll get in trouble if they do that. So please don't do that.
Hey, we're ranked number 70 apparently.
Well, okay, yeah, I think that's all a rumor.
I think
Anyway,
it's bullshit, but hey,
yeah.
I mean, it's a good ego booster.
it's a good thing.
Alright.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
We're doing
Number
better
one
than
one day.
Kotaku's podcast, apparently.
Hey, there we go.
Even
Apparently,
though their
yeah,
podcast
well,
is
real
dead.
speak. Right.
Anyway,
We tried to actually tried to take their name. We wanted the name Split Screen. It
Oh,
was so
yeah.
funny when we were coming up names of the podcast. We were talking to each other and we were like, "Oh, do you want to be a sick name? Split Screen." We go and have a look. Kotaku took it. So
Yeah,
how does it feel
so
now that
nice.
we ranked above you in one specific week? Yeah, fuck
and
off.
their
Yeah.
their
Right, anyway,
podcast
so-
doesn't even exist anymore. So
There you
Yeah.
Yeah,
go.
there we go.
There you go.
Yeah, take
we're
that.
doing
round them out of
better than a
business.
podcast
Yeah,
that doesn't
bitches.
exist.
What now, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Right, so let's
guy-
get onto the news this week. I say this week in the last couple of weeks that we haven't done this, but there's been a lot of news.
Yes.
Anniversaries and celebrations.
All kinds of things. So yeah,
Everywhere.
I want to start off with the Nintendo Direct that finally took place after how many days, Adib?
It was
many
over
days-
500 days. Just a quick Google check.
Right.
It's like
Five,
over
two,
like
six?
500 days.
514.
You're gonna go specific.
Yes, it's been
Yeah,
so
like
long.
over 5. And what did we think of it? What did we think of the whole Nintendo Direct? Adib, why
Bro,
don't you start?
Breath
Okay,
of the Wild
so-
2.
As you know, I was excited for this direct. I was looking forward to it, as any Nintendo fan would be. They've been starved. The last time they saw a direct was in December of 2019. And now it's 2021. Just to give you an idea. So, I was thinking, oh my god, they're going to come in with some big announcements. I can't wait. It's going to be so good. I think a person on Reddit or the YouTube described it the best. It was like, to me personally, it was like watching an hour of YouTube ads non-stop, but you can't skip it.
That's actually such a good description.
But there
Yeah,
were a lot of people who were quite happy with it. Other people who weren't. I was on the side of the disappointed.
There were some decent things like Splatoon 2.
That big Zelda announcement.
Splatoon 3.
3, that's it.
The big Zelda announcement that there was no announcement. And they were like, that was so funny.
Do you know what? There's a scene from one of my favourite sitcoms, and you should watch it. It's The Thick of It, and it's so funny because basically the minister, like literally a minister of government, he calls up the media, he calls up the press, and then he gets told by the Prime Minister's team that he can't make the announcement. So then his advisors say to him, what if we go in and we say there is no announcement? And we just say that, look, we've been working really hard and, doing all this other things. That's literally what happened with Nintendo. They came in and he said, you saw me and you thought Breath of the Wild news. Well, psych. No Breath of the Wild news.
We did get Skyward Sword, though. Skyward Sword is coming to the Switch. HD remake.
Yes.
Another remaster.
I can't wait. And some really cool...
remasters.
A lot of cool looking Joy-Cons, and I will say those Joy-Cons.
And Nintendo are smart though. They make classics and then they just remake it all the time.
Just resell
That's what
it.
they do.
I think I genuinely am worried now that game designers have they've forgotten how to make new games, or they don't have any more ideas.
Yeah.
They have no more new ideas.
I think we're just being impatient. All the stuff is going to come through in E3. It's just they probably just dropped this to say, "Hey,
impatient.
Look,
it's
we're
been
not."
4 years anniversary of Switch.
I can't wait for the a Breath of the Wild remake in 2032. Can you imagine? They remake that shit.
And like they only give one upgrade, and that's that you can attach a sword to your arm, and that's like the only thing that you can do. That's like the only.
That'd be great.
What a specific upgrade.
Oh yeah, can we not forget that it opened up amazingly though? We got that Mithra announcement.
It peaked.
Yes,
in
that's
fact,
true.
I think that was too soon because no one and they didn't let it marinate. It just happened straight away. So we were like, oh shit, it's actually happening as we're speaking.
What about Project Triangle Strategy?
Project Rectangle, as the video game donkey says.
What the fuck? What
the best thing is underneath there was a subthing saying working title.
Working title,
yeah. It's definitely working. It definitely has to be a working title. Because
I wanted to call it a Project Triangle now. I really do.
They should just release it as Project Triangle Strategy working title as the actual title of the game.
Working title is
working title in the phrase. Yeah, that'd be really good.
Because here's the thing, right? Like the team worked on Octopath Traveler last, but before then it was called Project Octopath Traveler. So it might just end up being called Triangle Strategy, which
No, fair enough.
That looks good.
Well, so Nintendo Direct. There was a couple of good things that we were happy about.
No more heroes.
Some things that were a bit
looked kind of jacked, but it's all right.
Splatoon 3 was looking pretty cool.
In my view, I think that the another company's Direct was better, and that of course was Sony's State of Play, PlayStation's State of Play.
Arguably, but yeah, continue.
Arguably, yes.
Do you know why?
I think so. Go on,
okay,
Lisa.
so they announced like a lot of cool like indie games, like really like a lesser known, nothing was really AAA
Some of the
there, but it was
same
still like
games
good,
that-
interesting games
Some of the same games that was also on the Nintendo Direct.
that I already knew. And also like, I love indie games anyways. It doesn't take away from a game if it's indie or not. If anything, I think it adds a lot of charm to it. But I remember you mentioning, Adib, like they're saving it for like E3, right? Is what you were saying.
Definitely saving it for E3.
Sony, if I'm not wrong, Sony don't do E3 anymore.
No, I think
Really?
they will. I think this E3
I
is
don't
going to be
know.
virtual, so they might just...
I think they mentioned how they just they don't do it anymore. Hence why State of Play was invented. So they don't do E3 panels anymore. But
interesting. Okay.
I
if
think
that's
it
the
could
case, then it's kind of disappointing that we didn't see anything serious. But
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll have to
I'm
see.
sure.
Won't we?
It
I
doesn't
think
matter,
this
like,
year's
they're
E3
gonna
is going
find
to
a
be
way.
very different, though, because it's going to be all virtual because of the pandemic, obviously. But it could just be like a State of Play, but a really beefy one. Because Nintendo technically don't do an E3 either. What they do essentially is another Nintendo Direct, but during E3. So you could have like State of Play and a Nintendo Direct, two big virtual events they can put some budget into. Because obviously with E3 is a massive expo, right? You have like loads of different people, loads of different industry people coming in, big shows, lots of like brand activation, brand managers, brand ambassadors, lots of like big showcases, all that kind of stuff. If you have a virtual event, you can focus it and really give it like a really like slick presentation and focus on
Do you know what kind of sucks though? Like I feel like we've missed the prime of going to E3 because as a kid growing up through like the PS3, PS4 generation, E3 was amazing. Like all the big games were there, everyone was there. It was a massive thing,
to go.
and I still want to go. I definitely want to go, but now I feel like you know how like a lot of developers do their own sort of thing now. They don't really want to do it on E3. They want to have their own special event. And it seems like less of a spectacle like it used to be. But I would still definitely go. I just feel like it won't be as amazing.
It just won't
as
be
it was in its prime.
won't be as good as it used to be.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that theme of whether or not things are as good as they used to be is going to be one that we are going to be taking up throughout this episode. Particularly
Yeah.
particularly because we had a very big anniversary last week, didn't we?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Well, actually, to be fair, there's been a lot of anniversaries floating around. We've had Zelda's anniversary. A funny one is Metroid and Donkey Kong recently had their anniversaries as well.
Oh, for
Yeah,
real?
Nintendo, how
they
are you
kept quiet
celebrating
about that,
those?
didn't they?
So yeah,
They kept
Nintendo's
that
not doing
quiet. I
much
didn't even know.
But of course, the big one, the one that I think we're all probably interested in, is Pokemon's anniversary. 25 years of Pokemon this year.
Yeah.
So we thought that it'd be a great thing to celebrate that. All of us here love Pokemon or have loved Pokemon at different stages of our life. I think that's probably fair to say. You know, some have loved it for longer, some have loved it for a shorter period of time. But we also thought that what would be nice for our listeners, and particularly for a brand new, for our podcast to, help it do well, and also just to bring some friends in. We thought we'd bring one of our good friends in, Ray. So hello, Ray. Welcome. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, dude?
Hi guys.
Welcome.
Hey,
Hello, my
thanks
fellow
for waiting.
weebs.
Yeah.
Yo, how does it feel? Woo! First
Yeah,
feature
well,
on the
first
podcast, dude.
First
Incredible.
guest on the
Yo.
podcast.
Honorary triple tap member.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Absolutely.
Honestly, here's the thing. I'm basically the guy like running it behind the scenes. Like you just don't see me.
yeah.
The
He's the
professional
brains behind bar, yeah.
Bowser Jr. Behind the scenes, throwing bombs
Professional Bowser Jr.,
everywhere.
yeah.
Just
yeah.
upbeating everyone.
If you guys don't know what that means, basically Ray is also in our Triple Tap Smash League, which you should absolutely watch. Make sure you follow us on Twitch.
Finals
and-
tomorrow. Ah,
Yes,
wait,
final
that's
week.
only if I get the video out in the next few hours.
Well,
finals
finals tomorrow
tomorrow's
from the
for
day
us.
that we've recorded.
The
Yeah,
finals
for
are
us.
happening on the
it would've already
6th of
happened.
March 2021. There we go.
So if you are watching it after that date, travel back in time to watch it live.
Yeah.
Or
it's
just watch
easy.
the recording.
It's as easy as that, honestly.
Simple.
Yes.
Simple.
There you go.
But yeah, so Ray is obviously very big part of Triple Tap, the Triple Tap Collective, who play on the Smash League, and is also a really nice person, aren't you? Are you a nice person?
I am the loveliest.
Lovely guy.
Lovely person. Yeah.
Sweetest human being I've met.
Yeah. So
Just
we
the most humble
Consistently.
guy. I know.
I'm honestly just so beautiful.
So yeah,
But hey.
we thought we'd bring Ray on to discuss.
And a huge Pokemon weeb. Hey.
Yeah, sadly, like literally just like
Sadly?
I don't play Pokemon anymore.
You just offended.
Sadly,
You offended the
sadly,
godfather
yeah.
of Pokemon.
I'm so sorry. Adib, I'm
This
so
episode's
sorry.
cancelled.
Why don't we let's get a sense of what level of Pokemon weebery we're operating on here. So we'll all go around and we'll say how many years we've been watching Pokemon. Maybe let's all say one of our favorite Pokemon, right? So we say our favorite Pokemon and we say how long we've been watching Pokemon for. Okay,
This
so
is how you
I'll
know this
start.
guy's a teacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some icebreaker.
Yeah,
Hey guys,
exactly.
my
Okay,
name's
everybody,
Izzy,
get in a circle. Get in a
and
circle.
I'm a Pokeholic.
Let's play two truths, one lie. Get to know each other.
But yeah, okay. So I've been watching Pokemon. I've been watching Pokemon for a long time, since I was like 10. But I've watched it always on and off. I've primarily always been a Yu-Gi-Oh fan.
Yeah.
So I ended up sleeping on
Boo.
Pokemon. I actually never went through the whole generation of playing a bunch of Pokemon on the Game Boys or stuff like that.
Yep.
I'm going back now and rediscovering. But yeah, I never went through that generation of playing Pokemon on the Game Boys.
Fair.
My first proper Pokemon experience, like genuinely proper, played it all the way through, got Pokemon's level 100, is Sword and Shield. So that's my proper introduction to
That's
Pokemon.
after we convinced you to get
Yay.
it, because when you got the Switch.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
so excited and you were like,
Definitely.
yo guys, are these the starters that were
was hella
leaked?
excited.
And you showed us like the
Oh, you know some fake
Yeah, you showed us
starters.
the fake.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh my
you showed us
God.
some
Someone
like
drew some
Bugs
fake
Bunny
starters.
looking thing, and it was just like,
Oh my
art
god, it
style
was so
good.
But the worst
bad.
part was the fake ones looked better than the real ones. in my
Yeah,
opinion.
that was the worst part.
I disagree.
you
No,
know
no,
what?
no,
I
those
just
look
said,
awful. I don't know how they had
Those starters somehow
Like,
looked
yeah.
terrible.
Oh man. Well,
It was
yeah,
really
anyway.
bad because he was so convincing as well. He's like, guys, wow, look at them.
They
They're
looked like
incredible."
fucking Hanna-Barbera cartoons doing cosplay. Like, it was bad.
That
Okay,
was
well look,
way
so
too oddly
there we go. I
specific,
think that demonstrates like just how uninitiated I am into Pokemon.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is my introduction. My favorite Pokemon is Rillaboom, because that's the Pokemon that that was the starter that I
Okay,
picked,
it makes sense.
and I got him to level
makes sense.
100.
That's an
and I
interesting
nicknamed him. Yeah, I
phenomenon.
nicknamed him Uzaru after Dragon Ball.
which
Yeah.
I actually
you know.
love, like, because it
Yeah.
looks like it's Super Saiyan 3 as well.
I will
Yeah,
say
it does,
that's
exactly,
really
so-
interesting because
Yeah,
like
it's
you're
really
one of the
cool.
first people that picked up Pokemon at a late age, whereas people our age
Yeah.
generally remember Pokemon as like the first generation. So a lot of people say their first Pokemon is Charmander or Bulbasaur
Yeah,
because
there
they
you go.
remember it fondly playing it. But since your first game is
Yeah.
Sword
So
and
this
Shield,
is it's like I'm a 5-year-old. Yeah,
It's
I'm
like-
a 5-year-old playing Pokemon.
yeah.
So there we go. So,
So-
Izhar, why don't you tell us about your Pokemon journey?
My name's Izhar. You can call me Iz. I've been struggling with Pokemon from a young age. On and off here and there. But no, I've loved Pokemon.
Welcome,
I
Izhar, but you can
loved
call me
Pokemon. Yeah, generally, literally for as long as I can remember, honestly, from as a kid. Mainly because my older brother was addicted to Pokemon. He was a huge Pokemon fan, had all the cards, all the games, watched it, the merchandise, you name it, right? So I got it from him, and then I just loved it. It was a huge part of my childhood. Watched the anime as well, obviously in the dub, for kids. But yeah, and first Pokemon was Pokemon Sapphire on an emulator on my laptop as a
Hey,
kid,
nice.
and that was really fun. Not my favorite though. My favorite would be Diamond, and yeah, favorite Pokemon is Shaman, and I'll explain that later on. But
Okay,
hey,
interesting. I don't know who that is.
All right.
This is
It's
yeah,
a green
this is bad.
hedgehog
Okay, cool. That sounds good.
with a flower like.
So
on
is it like
anyways.
Sonic?
No, it's just really cute.
No, it's
just
like an
a
actual
cute-
hedgehog.
It's
like,
it looks you know, it's the actual hedgehog that's green
Yeah.
and has a flower on its head, and it transforms into like a flying type with like wings and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I
Okay,
but I never had
Okay.
that edition.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Fair
It's like
enough.
imagine a
Okay,
hedgehog,
cool.
and instead of like spikes, it's like just like a ball of moss, and there's like a flower, and it's like
You
cute and
aren't
white.
selling. This is not. You're not selling. This doesn't seem appealing to me. Okay, right. So let's move on to Ray.
Yeah.
Ray, why don't you go ahead?
cool. So, I've been a Pokemon fan for as long as I can remember. Since I was a kid. I think it was one of like the first few kind of franchises that I like enjoyed, that I loved. And it really became like it was always a big part of my childhood, from the video games to the Pokemon cards themselves, and the anime. And yeah, I've had a very on and off relationship with it. Like, I think I kind of jumped off the bandwagon about 2013, but I've always still kept up with it. You know, the news, what's happening, what do the new starters look like, would this game be worth jumping back in? But yeah, so I would say like I have an avid knowledge, but
Okay.
yeah, I haven't been really in touch with it as way back then. To answer the question of my favorite Pokemon, I don't know. I'd say, because my first Pokemon game was actually Pokemon Ruby, so shout out Izhar.
Yeah, gang.
But yeah, so I would say maybe my favorite Pokemon might be Grovyle, because I just thought his design was just so slick.
Gross.
Ooh.
Okay.
But also Scyther. Scyther was just one of the
OG.
coolest looking Pokemons, like from way back, from like the OG one, like 151.
The green one.
Yeah.
What was the red one?
Sizzle.
Scizor. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and his mega's quite cool, so I do like Scizor as well. But there's just something cool about a dragon with swords for hands that tickled my little 8-year-old brain. So
I mean that's sounds amazing, to be fair. Right, so we move on then to the
to the master,
to the
to
big
the
boy,
king.
to the king,
The biggest
and Adib.
Pokemon fan out of the four of us in this
Yeah.
virtual
The Elite Four leader.
meeting.
Yeah.
The
Well,
Cynthia
champion.
of Pokemon
Try.
Diamond.
I'm going to ask you for your Pokemon story and try and contain it within about 2 minutes.
Yeah, go.
Okay, so Pokemon from a very young age, when I was 4, 5 years old. First experience was definitely back in Dubai, when KFC, as part of their Happy Meals, would give out VHS tapes. And I remember
Wow,
there being
okay.
a couple of Pokemon in there, and I freaking fell in love with the franchise. That was during the time when Pokemon had that massive explosion, between 1999 and 2001. So it was huge. And then I remember going back into school there. People used to be trading cards and stuff. I didn't have a single trading card to my name. But there used to be these little Pokemon discs that you find in crisp packets. And we used to collect those.
The
I didn't
holographic
even
ones,
have
right?
Yeah, exactly. The ones. You
Yeah,
literally buy
yeah, I
crisp.
remember those.
Yeah, so those are great. I remember getting a Mewtwo and I was like king of the school. And then the anime was always there until, I'd probably stopped watching when I was 12, 13. Because I kind of really more fell in love with the games. But I tried to get my hands on a Pokemon game for ages. I got like a really good award in school, so I got a Game Boy. I was ready to play the Pokemon games. Unfortunately, when you live in a country like Dubai in 2000, the real games are really expensive. So we got the cheapest version of the game, and it was a game called Pokemon Blue on the Game Boy Advance. And if
Wow.
anyone knows about Pokemon Blue, it came out on the Game Boy. So what this was some bootleg-ass Pokemon game, which wasn't even Pokemon. It was like this weird platformer game with like Muttley and Dastardly, but like it was obviously like some cheap Chinese knockoff that had nothing to do with Pokemon, because you'd have like,
Wow.
you open the title screen, it'd be like Pokemon, it'd be like blue, and it'd just be like a really shitty drawn Blastoise, and then there'll be like that Muttley and Dastardly card just going across. And I remember there was no save point, there was nothing, it was just a stupid retro game. But then I managed to get a proper Pokemon game for the first time from Bangladesh. Except it wasn't a proper game because it was a CD containing a bunch of emulators of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire.
God.
So technically that was my first one, but then I got Fire Red, and that was amazing. So like smashed through Fire Red, and when I got that was when Pokemania was huge, trading cards everywhere, pretty much like all over the school. The anime was popping. And I think made some of my best and closest friends through Pokemon. She had loads of amazing memories through Pokemon of just watching people beat the Elite Four, because I didn't have a Pokemon game of my own. Got my first proper, actual, physical, real, non-bootleg cartridge in Pokemon Platinum. So that was like my best and favorite game. I remember playing a lot with Izhar, playing a lot with other friends as well, playing on long flights, playing in holidays. It was amazing. And then ever since then, I've just been getting every single game ever since. I stopped watching the anime, but I read the manga. I remember even when I was a kid, I watched the freaking Pokemon stage production. And no one's seen that. And I saw it.
Wow.
And it was so obviously a massive merchandising franchise that people were just raking in the money for. But back then, you're a kid. Like, it's on your crisp packet, It's kind of amazing how Pokemon is basically the highest selling like multimedia franchise of all time. It is. I don't think it'll ever like be as big as it was before, but it's still big, and I'm still loving the shit out of it. I'm really excited about the future of it too.
It's actually it was really heartwarming to hear you talk about your journey with Pokemon, because a lot of us will have like particular franchises that we grew up with that very much shaped and formed who I like. For example, like truthfully, like mine is Yu-Gi-Oh, for example.
Yeah.
Right, and a lot of my childhood was spent in those form times. I'm sure, Ray and Azar, you've got your particular franchises or variety of franchises.
I went in hard on Yu-Gi-Oh as well.
With.
That was amazing.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like Pokemon, all these types of franchises that now that we're adults, we can reflect on how they've grown as franchises. We in the 25th anniversary, essentially the video that they had, the Pokemon Direct, they played a video where they showed kind of the history of Pokemon, the Pokemon franchise, and going all the way from Pokemon Red and Blue through all the different games, the anime, the movies, and all these different trading card game and everything up to where it is today. So I guess the question that we're really trying to figure out today, going through all the different things, is Pokemon as good as it used to be? Simple question.
I would say it's definitely not as big and up in your face, but it's definitely big. It's like Pokemania. We're no longer in Pokemania, but we're like, it's still big.
Has the quality diminished? No, I think there's still quality there, right? Like, I wouldn't say that the newer games have less quality than... Actually, I would say that. Actually, I would. Okay, I think that it has sort of diminished over time. The quality has diminished. I just backtracked on everything I just said.
Everything you said, yeah.
I feel like they become very lazy with it, super lazy, and they found a formula that sticks, and people like Adiba are gonna buy it, and me. Don't get me wrong, I'll buy it too.
Yeah. I need my Pokemon fix every year. So.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, Ray. What about you? Just a sort of headline. What do you think? Do you think it's as good as it used to be?
As Adib mentioned earlier, there was that whole Pokemania back in the 2003, 2003 times, 1990s to 2003, we're never going to get as big as that. But I definitely think in recent years, it's definitely been on like if it's on a bar chart, basically, it's just straight line. Like it's just at a not stagnant level, but it's at a good level. Like, because here's the thing, Pokemon's found its foot in so many different medias now. Like, it's gone from, remember that boom that it had back in 2016, Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go, yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and like it's off of that, like a lot of things have, like there's been a big resurgence. Like the Pokemon cards, they're only going up in value. They're having weird collaborations now with like clothes, and like they're having like a Levi's collaboration. Post Malone is opening up on their 25th Direct. Sorry. I think it will never be as big as it once was, but it's definitely not. It hasn't diminished.
I mean, it's still the highest selling franchise of like multimedia franchise of all time, so it's definitely up there, and everyone knows Pokemon. And I think it's interesting because like you've got Pikachu as the mascot, right? Yeah, more people know more about Pikachu nowadays than Mickey Mouse, which is, you know, the mascot of Disney.
That's crazy, yeah.
So, like, it's a crazy, crazy little thing where, like, in my opinion, like, it is insane.
Well, you know how I said, like, oh, that is a diminishing, like, the actual, like, how it is overall as, like, a multimedia sort of, like, a Goliath. Yeah, you guys are right. It's I found its footing, and it's still like super relevant in so many different forms of media. When I say that it's gone down and that the quality has gone down, I'm solely speaking of the games here.
Yeah. And for people like us, I can definitely agree with you on that.
I think I think that's probably the nuance that we wanted to bring. Okay.
Cool.
Before we get, well, this is the thing. I just want to say, like, I think that nuance is probably what we need, right? So we all touched a little bit on it, but like, you know, Pokemon as a franchise seems to have grown. You know, with Pokemon Go coming out in 2016, that's still widely played. You know, everybody talks. It's a whole meme, right? The summer of Pokemon Go, when everybody was at peace or whatever. Yeah. So Pokemon Go, and then Detective Pikachu came out recently. You know, and then there was a remastering of one of the old Pokemon films, for example. Like you said, Ray, the trading card game seems to be still fairly big in its communities, and people are still buying and selling Pokemon cards well.
The shares on the cards, on the OG cards, crazy, going up to ridiculous.
Yeah, because the demands increase a lot. Like all these like YouTubers and stuff to try and like buy them for like stupid values for money, and now all of a sudden
it's just rising up.
Yeah,
I wish I didn't throw half of my older brother's cards away like an idiot as a kid.
Dude, I gave all my Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards away.
Same. I gave half mine away as well.
Yeah,
half his away. I gave most of his ones away.
I managed to keep hold of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards for obvious reasons, but my very first cards, the first cards I ever got, there was nothing I could do. Yeah, I mean, so despite that, like, you know, I've still got a reasonably valuable collection, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm ever going to sell it.
It's crazy because I remember I was in like year 5 or something, and I had like a bunch of friends, and I was like a super like a giving kid. I wanted everyone to experience Pokemon with me. So I took my brother's Pokemon cards and I made a deck for every single one of my friends. Every single one out of his cards.
God.
Oh my god.
Like I made like 5 decks. And I gave like all of them like 1 or 2 rare cards each, yeah? And guess what, yeah? I had my own deck. All rare cards, the best cards in the world, yeah?
Of course, you would give away your best stuff.
I was lining up for lunch, yeah, and the school dinner ladies were like, you know, they're doing their thing, right? And they saw that I had this pack of cards. Since she confiscated it, yeah, she said, come get it after school. Fine. I went after school and she wasn't there. I went the next day, she said that she lost them.
Oh!
Crazy.
Bro, if that happened to my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I'd sue the school.
Bro,
I don't care if I'm 5, bro.
Deck,
I don't care if I'm 5. I would end that dinner lady. Honestly,
that hurts me inside.
Deck is probably worth thousands now, easily.
Bro,
alone that deck.
Can you remember some of the cards you had in there?
They were shiny as fuck. They were so shiny.
Bro,
shit, man. Well, look,
her son was living lavish after that day.
Yeah, but
her son's a YouTuber now. Showing off his collection. It's actually mine.
Her son
is
now Logan Paul.
my god.
My son's Logan Paul. Ah.
Yes, that son is Logan Paul. Like,
Yeah,
It's like those
I
memes
was
of
so
like-
pissed off that
Full
day.
circle.
I should have rioted. I should have gone haywire. What are they
yeah,
gonna do?
yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna find my cards.
Look, man,
So-
I've
so
had
you-
my cards,
Such
a-
Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon,
like-
both of them
So
confiscated.
here's the thing. It's funny, like, it's funny what you talk about and the relationship that Pokemon cards have with playgrounds in school, basically.
yeah.
Because that was like
Clout.
the birthplace. That was like the breeding grounds of like just
Yes.
the boom of just nostalgia, basically.
Yeah.
And it's just everyone has different stories. No one's playground stories involving any cards really
Yeah.
is ever the same.
Yeah.
Like me and Nabs, we were crazy. Like what our primary school stories were incredible. What we did was when like when you go Bangladesh, right? You can actually buy Pokemon cards there.
The
And they have,
bootleg
like,
ones.
Pokemon cards. Yeah,
Yeah,
bootleg
of course,
ones.
of course.
And like
Same.
Pokemon cards from like back in the day, right? Like stuff that's not even printed anymore because they just print out all the fake cards. And now we had so many sick, crazy cards, like so many bootleg cards, and it was incredible. And then we come back to England with it, and after that summer, we go to the playground. And we start filtering these cards into the system, start trickling them in. Just,
Oh,
showing
no.
someone this really crazy 1000 HP, like, Arcanine, this card that doesn't exist, right? And we'd be like, yo, like, I'll trade you this really
Would
sick
the grammar
rare card.
be
You've
really
never seen
off
it
as well?
before.
I was like really badly mistranslated in the attacks and everything.
Like the font was off, nothing was centered. Like, it was... But here's the
You
thing, as
guys
a
were
kid,
hustling.
you just... We were hustling everyone, bro. And it got to a point where, like, maybe, like, 9 months into that year, we had all the good cards and everyone had all our bullshit ones. Like, I flipped every
Wow.
single card.
It's
Right,
like
it was
money
incredible.
laundering, but like
It was incredible. And every card, we knew who had what. It was
that wouldn't have stuck in my school
We-
because I used to run the Yu-Gi-Oh club in
Yeah.
my school.
Yeah.
You know about this, isn't
No,
it? I've
hold
told
on.
you about this.
I have a story about you in a second, but
You,
yeah.
you can't
Okay,
bring
right.
those £2
Well,
decks you bring from Southall. If you ever remember going to Southall,
No, yeah.
buying the £2 decks.
I remember in school, right? I used to run this. I used to run a lunchtime Yu-Gi-Oh club when I was like in year 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And I basically, because I was the best at Yu-Gi-Oh in my school, people used to come and they would hear rumors that I was the best Yu-Gi-Oh player. And they would come and challenge me. So then one time
the
this
wizard.
kid came. Yeah,
They
yeah.
would go
whatever.
to his cave.
Come and challenge the great wizard. Yeah, whatever. So this one time this kid came, and he was like, "Oh, I want to challenge you. I've heard you're the best duelist." And I was like, "Yeah, well, come on then." I was acting all cool, like, "Oh yeah, whatever. I don't give a shit."
Put your glasses on like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Who the fuck are you?
None of it. Yeah.
So little shine on the
basically-
glasses.
So then he plays me. Anyway, he plays his first card, and it's a fake card. And I know immediately because I'd look at him like,
It's
I know what's a fake
because
card.
of like the tiny little like corner and the shiny thing. It's
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
that-
It-
that
it's
validation.
everything. Bro, it was like he bought this from the market kind of deck, right? This is like, I could tell it was so fake, right? So he played a fake card, and I just looked up at him and said, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "I'm playing." And I said, "Can I have a look at your deck, please?" And then he was like, "Why? We're trying to play." He's like, "No, you show me your deck right now because this is my club."
Wow.
all of my
Wow.
all of my dumb nerd weeb cronies around me were like, "Show him your deck." I pick up his deck, and it's full of fake cards, right? So gather his deck together. I get up, I walk over to the bin, and I chuck it in the bin.
Jesus
And I say,
Christ.
don't come to my club with fake cards."
Hey man,
He left.
hey man.
Bro, to be fair though,
Those cards are
respect him.
expensive. It's like £8 a deck back then. You know
Don't
they
buy
might
fake
not.
cards.
They
Don't
might.
get hustled.
They might not have had. They might not have had the economic position to buy
No,
a whole deck for
no.
£8. You know.
Fuck.
That
fuck
boy
everyone
has
position.
anxiety now.
No. He came back 2 days, the week afterwards, with a fresh new deck, and I destroyed him. But the main thing is that he played with it. He played with a proper deck.
You think that's
Okay.
bad? We used to have people in school that would literally get like half-assed A4 printed out pieces of paper and just stick it onto another card. I remember like The color would
Mad.
be off. Like the printer ink would just like cut halfway through, and then like bust out cards. I'm like, what are you trying to do here?
Bro, do you know what's worse? I traded an entire Yu-Gi-Oh deck for one Egyptian god card from my friend, Slice of the Sky Dragon. And I was so happy. I was like, oh, I can't wait to see what was on. Oh, he's gonna love it. He's gonna
I
love
remember
it.
this.
You must have thought like that was the best deal.
He comes over to my house. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna show him, yeah. And then he looked at it and he was like, it's fake. I was like, what do you mean it's fake?
Man.
And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry, man.
I remember
But,
this.
but he had a bit of a heart with me. He said, oh, dude, I'm gonna throw it in the bin right now. If that's cool. He asked,
What
I
is it
couldn't
with you
say
throwing
no.
people's cards in the bin?
I couldn't say no, obviously, but I was like, yeah, sure.
You'd have made a
fine.
good teacher circa
Say-
2005.
Dude, I was so upset after that, dude.
Bro, I'm just chucking cards left and right. I'm so sorry. Anyway, look, enough about me chucking cards in the bin.
Yeah.
What we've established is a couple of things. A, I'm a prick, and B, that Pokemon Multiverse, if you want to call it that, the Pokemon multimedia franchise, seems to be doing very well in trading cards, in anime, in movies, all those things.
Yep.
But the real point of contention for all of us seems to be games. So, Pokemon Sword and Shield, right? Here's the thing, right? I just want to start by saying this. Pokemon Sword and Shield was my first proper Pokemon game.
Yeah.
I did, one rejoinder, which is that I did play Pokemon Omega Ruby on the 3DS. Because I had a 2DS. I bought a 2DS and I played Pokemon Omega Ruby for a little bit. But because I didn't really understand it, I didn't actually proceed. I didn't like.
How did you
continue
not
with it. I didn't play
understand
all
it?
the way
That game
through.
was designed for like 7-year-olds, dude.
I just thought, well, that's why. Because I was like, this just seems too easy. Like, why would I enjoy this? It seems
Actually,
too
no, I
easy.
do remember you being like, oh, my Pokemon are like level 40. Like, should I continue? And I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
where are you? And you're like, oh, just beat the first gym. I was just like, why the fuck are you grinding this early?
No. Do you know what the bad thing is? That was Sword and Shield. That was in Sword and Shield.
For real.
That wasn't even Mega Ruby.
No,
that
to
was
be
in Sword-
fair,
so
to
the-
be
when
fair,
I
like
got-
you get high level Pokemon at that point. The gym leaders like really scale up. Like you could have a level 40s in your team, and you can get absolutely wrecked by like level 60
Yeah.
wild Pokemon in Sword and Shield, because
that's
in the
true.
wild area there's no level cap. You can absolutely get your ass
Yeah.
kicked.
So that's the thing, right? So like Sword and Shield are my first Pokemon that I fully understood and how to play, and I don't know if this is just because it's my introduction to the formula. So what I really want you guys to help me understand is what the issues are, right? So I really enjoyed it. I really loved it because I thought this is amazing. This is a really cool system. Free roaming around Pokemon on the Switch. By this point I've now played Pokemon on Game Boy because I'm doing retro collection. I'm playing Pokemon on the Game Boy, and I get the appeal. I get the magic. Okay. The Sword and Shield seems great to me. So what the issues are?
Number one, animations or a lack thereof with every attack move. There's literally a Pokemon that just do this shit, and then they attack. That's the move. Flamethrower. Bubble beam.
Mate,
That's what
Skull
they do,
Bunny's
yeah?
double kick where he like just hops
Yes,
in place.
because he's a motherfucking starter. They couldn't cheap out on the starter. That's why.
No. I'm
Okay,
saying like
cool.
he literally just hops in place and then the double kick animation happens.
Oh yeah, they also cheaped out on the starters apparently. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that.
Incredible.
Secondly,
Incredible.
the graphics pretty bad. I'll be honest. Do you remember that tree? Everyone remembers that tree.
Everyone's
That
gonna
was
talk
it.
about
Yeah,
the tree.
okay, but
That
the thing
tree
is,
looked like my shit stain
look,
in
the
the
wild
toilet.
area looked like
I'm not-
shit sometimes, but like the rest of the game looked fine. Like when you're in the routes or like the cities
Bro,
and
the,
stuff.
route, the
cities
wild
are
area
nice,
was
the
the
cities are
selling
nice.
point of the game, dude. Like that's why I thought, yo, Pokemon. That's why for the first time since Diamond and Pearl, I was excited about a Pokemon game to actually play it. Was because of this free roaming online wild area that was kind of a misleading sort of thing.
I feel like
Thirdly, now, and here's a big one, and I didn't understand why, but it just felt kind of like the formula was the same as it was before. You beat one gym leader, you go to the next, that's fine, that's Pokemon, right? But I clocked, and I don't understand why I felt like this is kind of like boring and stale and unimaginative. And don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed it. For like, I played like 30 hours of it. I actually enjoyed it for the most part until
your save
save
file got
fucked.
deleted.
Yeah, but when I reflected on it, I was like, what feels different? And honestly, it's the core design of the game. I watched a video of it, right? So the old games, it really felt like an adventure. Like you could go wherever. It wasn't like hand holding or leading you per se in a certain a direction. Like, if you remember the maps, right, there's like the route, yeah, and it's kind of like a circle. So you go to one area, then to the next you fly, you get a HM there, then you can fly to the next area, then you get a surf, and you go across the sea to that area. Then there's an island with the Elite Four. Then you come back to the original area for like some other secret Pokemon. It really felt like, even though it was a linear game, it felt open world in that sense, and an adventure, right? Really well designed games with the structure of it. Now with a Sword and Shield, I remember it was a straight line. It was like you start here and you just go upwards, and then at the top there's the Elite Four. It was literally linear.
It was a very linear experience. I'll give you that.
Up, and you beat it up, you go up. Like the lack of a sense of adventure wasn't there for me, which is what I thought. I was just old, but then I thought about it. They could have made that more than it actually was.
Yeah, those old maps.
The other thing is the illusion that they sold of like this open world, like explore. Do you know that one city? I forgot what it's called. You go in and you can see there's a massive city, and like, wow, you want to explore it. It looks so cool, and then you realize there's like these little fences everywhere, and it's just like you literally there's only one path, and that's it. That's what you can do.
Someone made it like someone made a good statement. It was basically like, you have all of these amazing cities, but it feels kind of shallow because it just feels like you're walking through a set, as opposed to like you're walking through a city.
That's a really good point.
Because it's like all the buildings are basically like, just like, it feels like they're just cardboard cutout buildings that you can't enter. You know, like they're all there, but it's just like.
So Ray, right? You obviously have played some of the more kind of the older games, like on Game Boy or DS or whatever, right? And you've recently got a Switch, so we were talking about this recently, but you're like, I'm not going to be buying Sword and Shield. What is it about the magic of the old games that means that you're not so attracted to Sword and Shield now?
It kind of goes back to what you were saying about, because my key problem is it's that whole kind of thing of a game having the heart, you know, because you were saying this about crossover games, how or like Kingdom Hearts 1 doesn't have Kingdom Hearts 3 doesn't have the same heart as Kingdom Hearts 1. It's kind of like the same thing here, is that there's something missing, and I don't know what it is. Like, in my mind, I look at Pokemon now, and it just seems too Disney compared to what I played as a kid. There's a lot kind of missing. And it's just really easy. It's a lot of hand-holding. It's a lot of, like, it hasn't progressed much from its roots. That's what I see. That's the kind of problems that I'm seeming to find. But one thing that I think about a lot is the fact that you enjoyed it. You enjoyed it because it was your first ever Pokemon game. It must have been so magical for you.
Yeah.
And that's
incredible.
And that's the thing. I imagine. Okay, you know what? I need to take a step back. Maybe this game just isn't for me, because at the end of the day, these games are always going to be someone's first experiences with Pokemon, and it's always going to be their thing. It's always going to belong to them. Like, my shit might belong to me from way back then. I don't need to be the old grumpy old man shouting about the stuff now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, the things that are just missing is it's just a bit too easy. It's a bit too Disney for me. I don't think they're treating it as I mean, they are treating it importantly, but they're not
kind of giving it the maturity, maybe the maturity it requires. You know, games mature.
The respect that it requires, basically. Yeah. Like the respect of the people that are playing it. And Nintendo, I mean, that's a whole conversation about Nintendo in itself. But Pokemon itself, with Game Freak, they just, I don't know, I guess they don't respect their audience enough to really make it for everyone. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, we can just slap together.
I think I'm going to say it's definitely directed at the people that will play it for the first time, in particular kids. I think a lot of the charm and love that we felt for the franchise back then was also maybe because we were kids. And as we've grown older and more cynical, we're starting to see the cracks in a game that maybe to a small kid who's like 9 or 10 or even like 8 years old finds this like a magical experience. Because let's be honest, when we were kids, everything crap was amazing to us. Like, we loved all kinds of shit because we were very easy to impress. And I think Pokemon, in that sense, like, I think also it could be just because the limitations of the graphics and everything, our imagination was allowed to run wild and be like, wow, this is an experience. Like, everything was amazing.
Answering that, you got to remember, think about it. How long did it take them to go 3D? how long did it take them?
Yeah.
And they always had the means of creating this, but how long did it take them to create a game like Sword and Shield, which Pokemon always, well, not always should have been, but when they had the power to make that happen, they should have done that way.
Yeah,
like,
that's because it was
time ago.
primarily a handheld. I think, okay, it's from my perspective with Pokemon Sword and Shield. I just pulled out my Switch. I've put the most hours into a Pokemon game in Sword and Shield. And I've played Pokemon games since essentially Ruby and Sapphire. You can even argue like Gold and Silver through my friends, you know. But I've been playing Pokemon games consistently every single iteration of the game. And if anyone knows me, I needed a game that would give me that Pokemon experience. And unfortunately, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee did not give me that. A lot of people love that game. I didn't. I needed a Pokemon game. And there are some amazing things about Sword and Shield. For example, the characters, the gym leaders, are probably the most memorable gym leaders. There's literally a guy called Raihan, which is the name of the guest on our show today. And he's a fan favorite. There's like multiple fan favorites in this particular Pokemon game that people love.
I see
the soundtrack.
I see the memes all the time.
Is
like,
great.
memes bro, it's so bizarre. I'm seeing my actual government name on memes, and it's always shit like, oh my god, Ryan is so hot. I just want him in my mouth, and I'm just there like,
hello,
I am here.
I am Raihan.
In your mouth, may I enter?
May I enter? But yeah, no, I get that. Like, I do agree. I just think, but here's the thing with this new Pokemon game, this could be the game because it seems, I don't know, it just like this Pokemon Legends game, the Arceus one.
Wow, that transition right there.
That looks sick.
Yeah, I
think that might be everything that I'm asking for. Like who knows?
I think that's the thing.
It actually looks amazing.
I think on the Pokemon Sword and Shield, I think a lot of people are sort of disenfranchised by the series, especially a lot of people who may have played too many Pokemon games and want something new, something fresh. I think at this point, Pokemon's roots are a lot like that formula that people hold on to and love. While that may have been a strength to a lot of people, it may start to become a weakness. I think the issue with Pokemon is a lot of people wanted to see a massive jump from the 3DS to the Switch. I think that Game Freak might have had a hard time transitioning from a handheld game to a console game and bring that experience over. Because Pokemon has always had like really small iterative changes. I mean, if you're asking about when Pokemon went to a 3D game from a 2D game, it was in 2013, at the end of 2013, when you can finally move in 8 different directions. That was a massive deal for us, right? So it was very much limited to the handheld. So it was like pushing the boundaries of the handheld space, and it was like console sellers for the DS, for the Game Boy, for the Game Boy Advance. For the Switch, you have Breath of the Wild and everything like that. And the reason I have issues with Pokemon Sword and Shield, even though it is actually one of my favorite games now, it's not. It's very 7 out of 10 game, but I've had a lot more fun with it. The competitive is amazing. It's made it so much more accessible to get Pokemon to level 100. It respects your time, cuts out so much tedious shit. There is no HMs. Traversal is easy. And also, like, that's all great. But the issue is, I think people want to see the next thing in Pokemon. And they want innovation. They want to see something that pushes the boundaries of Pokemon. And I think Sword and Shield gave us a glimpse of that.
And it's a lot of complacency.
They definitely gave us a glimpse of that, but we want to see a series that excels, and I think the technology is there now to actually see a really good Pokemon game. And that sort of brings us to maybe the
Diamond and Pearl remakes.
Yeah.
Because,
Go on, I'll take it away.
I'm just glad they had the Arceus Legends coinciding with it, because if it was purely a Diamond Pearl remakes, I'd be like, what sort of DSi game is this? That's what I was thinking in my head. Like, they really thought, do you know what would really piss everyone off? A devolution. It was a devolution of a Pokemon game, and I was like,
the thing is, I think
it is literally just an iOS app.
It is a bit rich to call it a remake, because, you know, at least in my book, a remake is Final Fantasy VII to Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yes.
That's a remake, right?
Or
To call...
on the term of Pokemon,
Or-
Gold and Silver to Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Heart Gold and Soul Silver is, in my
Incredible.
opinion,
One of the
one
best
of the
games,
best Pokemon games. Generation
Incredible.
4
Incredible.
with Platinum and
Yeah.
Heart Gold, Soul Silver, great games. That's a
Incredible.
remake.
Like that improved on every foundation in every kind of way.
Yeah.
So
Like,
yeah,
100% agree.
the debate about the about the Diamond Pearl remakes has raged on a lot, and a lot of it has been centered on this like chibi characters, they look shit, all this business.
Yeah.
Maybe the artistic thing is that they're just trying to keep some of the nostalgia.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, maybe.
But it's like a direct
before a
one-to-one
remake-
remake.
Yeah, for a remake.
I just wouldn't be surprised if it's just again complacency. It's just like, oh, we gotta do this. Come on, let's just revamp it. a
But
little
the
bit,
budget
get
went
the
into
shit out.
Arceus though.
Yeah.
That's why
Which
I'm
is
okay
fine.
with
I think
it.
that's-
I'm
I think,
okay.
yeah.
It looks
I
sick.
think
It looks sick.
I think
But
this is the thing
I
that we
gotta
wanna
raise
underline.
one point, and that is everyone was so just like adamant on, oh, this better not be a Let's Go Sinnoh. This better like it can't be, and I kind of feel like what everyone got was maybe a bit worse than that.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
definitely
Let's
worse.
Let's Go actually has good assets. Like Let's
Yeah.
Go actually has
Okay.
like apart from the catching mechanics, like it probably would have been better off looking like that. Like
Yeah.
so.
What do
I
you mean?
just
Do you
feel
mean? Do you mean the Diamond and Pearl remakes?
Yeah, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I think what they literally did was get the assets from the game, the 2D games, the DS games, and literally turned them into 3D, almost one for one, kept the weird proportions, and it worked for the 2D game, you know? And then ripped the art style and just went straight in. I get what they're trying to do,
It
but
looks cute.
a lot of people, it's very hit and miss from what I've seen. What I was
Well,
expecting
so this I think
was like
People
Sword
just
and
need to play the
Shield, but
game
Diamond
first,
and
that's
Pearl
it.
with like a lot more features. But I'm
Yeah.
concerned it's going to be a one-to-one
I think-
game of Diamond
yeah.
and
I think this is probably what
for
was
£60.
Pearl. For £60.
£460. Yeah. I think, I think this is what is so interesting about that direct and the way that they played it, because I think they knew that there were going to be people pissed off about what Diamond and Pearl looks like. I think, to be fair, we've also been quite critical. We've been critical of Sword and Shield. We've been critical of the
Yeah.
Diamond and Pearl remakes. I think we can underline it on a positive note, and that brings us to Pokemon Arceus, which we've
Yeah.
mentioned a couple of
Yes.
times. And that does look exciting to me.
The actual Game Freak game, because there's Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl made by Ilka Incorporated
Yeah.
or Ilka Inc. The guys that did
Yeah,
Pokemon
there's a
Home.
lot of space we can give them where it's just like, yeah, no, you get the pass. But
Yeah.
yeah, this Arceus game, I have high hopes for it. Like I feel like, I hope it might be the game to pull me back.
It's-
you know?
it's
Can
giving
you
us-
imagine? We record this episode and we say, "Oh, high hopes! It's going to be great." And then let's say, like in a year and a half when it comes out, we come back to this episode. What we should do is definitely clip this section where we're saying it's a great game. Go a year and a half, and it turns out to be like the worst thing ever.
Absolute shit.
It's just like
Oh,
glitching.
right.
You like walking in and you like clip through. It's like the cyberpunk of Pokemon games. You throw a ball and you just clip through.
The caching mechanic is just so off.
And
It's
then you
like-
enter
There's no
into,
catching
like-
mechanic. You actually beat Pokemon up.
And you end up with
yeah.
Like that's Nintendo's
it in the
idea of a
backpack.
mature
Okay,
take.
yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
listen. I've
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
that there is
You
a
just get
rumor.
shanked
Is this what
out.
people want?
Just go around stabbing
Pokemon die.
You walk around with a bat.
I heard that there is a rumor
There's a level
that
2.
it's actually
Like
Pokemon Gun.
the Professor Oak equivalent is like, we don't give you a star Pokemon, we give you a fucking bat. That's what you'll get.
Get your own
Choose your
shit.
yeah.
You
can
choose the
a
bat you
baseball
want.
bat, baseball bat, cricket bat, or hockey stick. Your choice. Go out, beat the shit out of Pokemon. I'm
Pokemon.
done with this.
Gotta
professor
kill
shit.
them all.
You know what, yeah, it's like
Gotta
you're not
kill
actually
them
catching anything. You're just exterminating them. That's
God. Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
so
it,
that
literally
is
the game
quite-
is
yeah.
about colonizing the Sinnoh region, so...
Historical
basic.
Pokemon historical epic.
Yeah. Epic. Yeah. Exactly.
incredible.
Pokemon Colonization Edition. Fantastic. Well,
Yeah.
okay. Well, look.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we were able to at least end that bit on a relatively positive note. I think we're overall
Genocide.
that question, is Pokemon as good as it used to be? Is Pokemon as good as it used to be? The answer is no. We're going
Genocide.
to genocide. Pokemon genocide. Yeah, we're gonna kill off all the
Pokemon Brilliant Genocide.
That was spoiler alert.
and
That
Shining
was
Holocaust.
literally the plot of Pokemon X and Y.
Brilliant Genocide and Shining Holocaust.
Oh god.
That's literally the plot of every single Pokemon team. Like every single evil team, you're just trying to stop genocide. Every single game.
Right, okay.
10-year-old kid.
Given what we just said, I'm very worried about taking us into our game section. But we are going to go into this.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nintendo, hire these men. We're going to kill your franchise. So that I guess that brings us on to our game. Somehow we jumped from genocide to a game. But anyway, that brings us to a game, which is that we are going to have a go at designing our own Pokemon.
Great transition.
And I'm glad that Ray is here to help us because he's a very, very talented artist. Photographer, all kinds of different artistic things.
Yep.
So I'm sure he'll be able to design something very brilliant. Now, Adib, you haven't had since you are the Pokemon Grandmaster, you are going to be judging our Pokemon designs.
Indeed.
And we'll have to see how this plays out. So how this is going to work is I've got some wheels here. As always, we've got our wheels. I'm going to spin some wheels. The wheel will tell us what type the Pokemon is. Or if you choose, you can have a dual type Pokemon and I'll spin it twice for a dual type. And then I'm going to spin a random word generator. And then what's going to happen is you then have to make the Pokemon name based on that random word. Okay? So
And
I'm going
just
to...
make the Pokemon name, or are you going to try and describe the Pokemon as well?
Well, no, okay, yeah. So you've got the Pokemon name, you've got the type. Try and describe the Pokemon. So the idea here is that you want to describe the Pokemon, maybe talk about like what it might look like, talk about what kind of attacks it's got.
Yeah, okay,
Maybe talk
fine.
about what region it might be
Basically
found
pitch
in.
the Pokemon, essentially.
Yeah, pitch the Pokemon.
So
yeah,
I am
exactly.
Game Freak, and I've got to judge this Pokemon idea, and I'll let you know if
yeah.
it makes it into the Pokédex or not.
Yes,
for Generation 10.
You are a freak.
For
That's
the
right.
for the first ever
thank you.
Bangladesh region game.
Yeah, for the Bangladesh. But yeah, this is the first Bangladesh region.
Yes.
Yes,
The Bengali
100%,
region.
but
I agree.
Bangladesh, yeah, the Bengali region. Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, right.
The Alu
I'm gonna
region.
The Alu region. Yeah, perfect.
Let's
Okay.
see.
Right. So can you see that?
Yes. Who's first?
Who wants to go first? I would quite like our guest to go first.
Okay,
I was
right.
gonna say I don't want to
Sure.
go first, but okay,
I mean, yeah, sure. Let's go for
Yeah.
it.
Okay. So would you like a single type Pokemon or a dual type Pokemon?
dual type gives me more options, I guess.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Fine.
Or
Good
it
option.
makes it harder for you.
So
Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's see.
we'll
We're
find
going to
out.
spin the wheel, and the first type that the Pokemon is
Imagine it spins forever.
Ice.
Ice type.
Okay. So
Alright.
ice
Do you want
type
to keep that
Pokemon.
type, or do you want to make it dual? Oh, okay. Well, I can do that.
He's
I
says
I
a
mean,
dual.
ice
And it is
in
an
Bangladesh.
ice
Flying.
flying. Oh.
Is that
Has that been done
Has that been
before?
done? Has that been done?
Flying.
Articuno.
Articuno. Yeah, I was gonna say Articuno.
That's pretty cool Pokemon.
That's
Okay.
pretty cool. You already have Articuno
Okay,
to go
fine.
off. In Bangladesh, ice flying in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
The scoring
Makes no
sun.
sense.
The
Makes no
sooring
sense.
sun.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
That
the
was such a
Pokemon-
sought after
Scorching,
Pokemon.
scorching.
That should be the legendary.
Yeah. Right. So the Pokemon's name has to be based on the random word that I've generated.
I'm not
That's being
ready.
generated here. So the random word that the Pokemon's name has to be based on. You can play around with the name, or you can just use the name, whatever
Okay.
you want to do. But random word is fire.
Then what are the chances of that?
The
Any random word in the world it could have been.
It could
and
have
you
been
got
any
fire.
word. It was literally any word. You got an ice flying type, and the name, the word that you have to play around with, so you can play around with it, is fire. So you have.
What?
We'll give you.
What? What am I meant to
give
do
you
with this?
about-
What the hell am I meant to do with this?
Just,
We're gonna
just
give
go
you
for it. Just go
about.
for
Okay,
it.
we're gonna give you about 10 seconds. Okay, think about it carefully because we've got to wrap this up quickly, right? So think about it quickly.
Ice. Flying. Fire.
Fire. The name is.
Think of all
play around
the-
with the word fire.
Things in the world, and then
Yeah.
throw fire into it.
So you play. You've got creative. Anything, man. You've got imagination. You can play around with this.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. I kind of got
So-
something, I guess. But then I kind of
Okay,
fucked
let's get-
myself with the flying time now.
Yeah, you did.
that's
Okay,
fine.
right, so
Just go for it.
let's give it a go. So your Pokemon pitch, and I want you to talk about. You can do the name at the end if you need more time with the name, but tell us the Pokemon type. Remind us what the type is, maybe tell us a little bit about what the Pokemon design looks like. Maybe
Give
if
us
it
the name.
is a type of animal. Maybe give us an attack that it would have, like its best attack or whatever, and then give us the name at the end. Okay, so off you go.
All right, so this Pokemon, my Pokemon is a refrigerator.
Okay. Of course. Nice.
Okay,
nice.
right, great start.
It's
Fantastic
a
start. Good,
refrigerator
good. Okay.
whose plug
He's
isn't
looking
working.
around his room.
His plug isn't working, so he's on fire. But he's a refrigerator, so he's cold.
Okay.
I don't know how he's flying, but he's fucking flying somehow. By the will of Allah, through prayer, through everything, whatever, he is flying. He is a flying fridge, and you are believing that. But he's on fire because his plug isn't working, and his name is Freezer Ben.
Ooh.
Okay.
Nice.
That was so shit. That was so poor.
What type is he?
That was so poor.
Is he like uncommon, rare, legendary? Like what is he?
Just sounds like a common appliance.
A common appliance. It sounds like a Pokemon that is found specifically in regions where refrigerators are thrown away.
Well, here's the
The
thing.
Bengali region
There
has
is
flying
actually
refrigerators.
there is actually a Pokemon that is literally a ghost electric type that can possess electrical appliances.
Yeah, Rotom.
Yeah,
Turn
it's
into
Rotom.
them, right? Yeah, Rotom.
yeah.
Where it
Oh,
takes
God.
lawnmower,
No,
fan, oven,
Yeah,
This
so
is a
washing
literal
machine.
fridge.
no, this is
Does it
a
have to be
literal refrigerator.
Fridge.
And
Okay.
he fucking flies somehow.
It's
That's what. No. If anything,
Just-
I want to make him the legendary of my region. He is
That
flying. He
would
is
be-
flying around
could you
in
imagine?
Bangladesh.
That
People
would piss
praise
you off
this
so
legendary
much.
refrigerator.
Oh my God.
It's like when Ash saw the Ho-Oh in like the first episode. Instead, it's the flying refrigerator. Like, oh my god, it's that
Oh, if
kid.
it's in
Oh,
Bangladesh,
oh my
I can
God.
imagine why the refrigerator is
It's
on
that
fire.
Holy shit. Okay, that was a dumpster
Freezer
truck
burn.
fire of a
That
suggestion.
was the
Okay.
worst.
That
I
was
can't believe
Let me
I
go, let me go.
bad.
I'm ready, I'm
Okay.
ready.
Right, Izza, you ready? Yeah, okay, fine. Go on.
Yeah,
Dual
let's
type
go
or
for it.
single type?
I want a pure breed, you know.
Okay, pure breed. Okay.
None of that mudblood shit.
None of that. Yeah. Okay, nothing
Wait.
about me then. Okay. So you have got a normal type Pokemon.
Ah, can I
Okay,
change?
which is
That's the
shot you
easiest
in the
one.
foot because
That's
no,
so
but no,
boring.
it's
Okay, fine.
bland. Yeah, a
It's
single,
so,
a single.
normal type.
What? Snorlax. Okay, gone.
Okay,
Right. Okay.
Okay, and then
And then your word. So this is probably going to form a lot of the.
So boring.
This
okay.
is going
This
to
is
form
what's going to make or break
because
though.
normal. This is what's going to make or break it because
I
now
know.
if you get a shit word, you've got to work with this.
It's gonna,
Okay, right,
It's
so-
gonna be like
So
teacher
the random word that you have to shoehorn into the name
is.
is waterfall. But it's a normal type. Okay. Right. So you've got a normal type Pokemon, but you've got to shoehorn the word waterfall into the name or the design.
So
That was so
basically,
boring. Oh my
basically,
God.
Bidoof without the water type.
So
Okay.
talk
Okay,
to us,
waterfall.
tell us about what it's modelled after, what it kind of looks like, a main attack, and
I
give us the
really
name.
don't know. Okay.
so
I'm just
okay,
gonna go
right.
for
So
it.
you've got to.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
come
go
on.
for
You've got to do
I'm
it. You've
gonna
got to do it
go
now.
It doesn't
Let's
have
go.
to be like actually incorporate waterfall. It could be like
Yeah.
sounds like
Okay.
No, it's
Fall.
got.
Yeah.
He's got to use the word waterfall in the name somehow. So fire inspires Freezer.
Well, in that case,
Burn,
Ray
which
is straight up
Okay.
disqualified.
Okay. This is hella boring.
Okay.
I
go on.
guess, but okay. So we have a normal type in the Bangladesh region. Wow. Ooh, my parents. Anyways, so all it is the Pokemon name is Waterfaller, common type, straight up Waterfaller. He it's only guys as well, by the way. It's only male, 100% male gender. The Waterfaller. It's just a guy in a lungi. If you guys know what that is, they're wearing it's like a man skirt that you wear in like Bangladesh. And yeah, he's commonly seen at waterfalls, jumping off constantly into the water. He is the Waterfaller, and he's
So-
like a level 4 Pokemon. He has 2 attacks: Slide Tackle,
Man said slide tackle.
Slide
What?
Tackle,
Okay.
and Headbutt.
Slipper.
and headbutt. Okay.
But it doesn't
So-
know
Yeah.
waterfall.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, Isla, you basically just in my head, I'm just imagining my dad.
So
Okay,
I'm
he-
just
he is
imagining
the
some guy
waterfaller.
in the village just jumping off waterfall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just
no,
imagining a man.
He is like
Oh, he's
terribly
just a man.
sunburnt.
It's
He
just
has
a
like
man.
hella
You're
melanin.
describing
like,
a
he's-
person.
Bro, you didn't describe a Pokemon. You just described a bloke. You just described a random bloke.
You
For
described-
some reason.
You
he
just
was
described
jumping off
Kutus from
waterfalls.
Bangladesh living in Mirpur. Like,
Okay, but he has massive feet.
This- yeah.
Like his feet are huge. Like 8%. It's like 8%
Oh my
of
God.
his body. Like
This
he's
has
all
gone
feet.
so poorly.
He's all
He's all
This
feet.
has gone
right?
so
And he
fucking
wears
bad,
a
right?
lungi and he
Here's
walks
how you
around
lose.
the waterfall and jumps in.
Can you
He
believe?
slide tackles
Bro,
with
Adib,
the
can you
size
imagine?
20 feet.
I'm the one who has to save this. The new comer to Pokemon series, has to be the one to save this. So
maybe
if
the
I
next
win this,
generation is the one that's going to carry the torch
Is-
forward. into the
Izhar and
franchise.
Ray, all I'm saying is if I win this game, you two should hang your heads in shame and no longer call yourself Pokemon fans. That's all I'm going to say, okay? So let's take a look at what
Damn.
spin comes, all right? Because
What, you don't like the waterfaller?
okay, no, I didn't.
You don't like Freezer Burn?
I didn't like.
You don't like
Kudos.
massive feet who slide tackles
Mate,
people?
Freezer Burn is a fridge that's powered by anime and the god. Like,
Okay, I am taking. I'm going to take a dual type.
Go for it.
So let's spin. Let's have a look. And I've got fighting.
Oh, God.
Okay,
That's already infinitely better than mine.
and normal.
Yeah!
Oh, it's nearly steel.
Yeah!
Okay. Fighting normal type. That's fine. I'll take that. That's fine. That's not so bad. Okay. And the random word that the Pokemon has to be based on is.
Cope.
cope.
Oh my god, it's just a depressed. It's just a
It's like a really
depressing surname.
anti-depressed kid who fights everyone.
I mean, look, that is a Pokemon that could happen.
He's trying to learn how to fight, but he can't because he's too busy coping with his depression.
Okay. Okay.
In Bangladesh.
Okay. No, I've got something. Watch this. Watch my moves. Okay. Right.
Alright.
So, fighting type Pokemon, but it's like a sort of humanoid cat. It's a cat type Pokemon. It's almost like think of like a Lytard or other similar Meow. Think of cat type Pokemon, but
Yeah.
one that's a little bit more like maybe brute shaped, brute sized.
Yeah.
It's like
So a fat
dench. It's a
cat.
dench.
A
It's a-
dench
it's a
cat.
dench-
It's not fat.
a
It's,
dench
Fat cat.
It's a dench
it's
cat.
just a tank of a cat.
It's a dench cat. Okay, and
So
okay,
Garfield
it's a
with
dench cat.
gains.
Yeah, it's mad. It's a dench cat, right? Strong cat, and the Pokemon's name is Kopi Cat. So Kopi Cat.
This is how you do it, guys. This is how you do it.
Okay, Kopi Cat, and essentially its attack moves. One of its signature attack moves is it's called Copycat, and when another Pokemon successfully performs their move on Copycat, it's able to use that move and repeat it, but with double damage. And that's its main signature
Okay.
move, hence it's called Copycat. And
Okay.
it's found in the Bangladesh region. Okay, so Copycat, fighting type, dench cat, that signature move. Okay,
by the way, Copycat-
Wait,
I
hold on.
I like my fighter
wait.
who's
I
coping
wanna-
with depression.
I will also say that Copycat is actually also a move, and it's pretty much exactly more or less.
what I've described.
But
But
hey,
just like
listen.
a bit of tweaking,
Hey,
that's all.
Listen, can
Yeah.
I change the name of my Pokemon?
No,
quickly?
you can't
No,
change
wait.
shit.
I'm
You
gonna
had your
change-
fucking turn.
I call
Okay,
him
yeah.
I call him Waterfaller. I want to call him Waterfella.
Okay.
He made it worse. He made it worse.
Okay,
Right,
thank
you
you.
keep
Waterfella.
That is all.
My
That
God,
just
he made
reminds
it,
me of
okay.
it's like, oh yeah, that guy, the water fella. You know, he just keeps jumping down waterfalls.
In the
Waterfella.
lungi. And
the
if you
lungi.
see him, he just slide
Oh,
tackles you.
my
Water
God.
fella.
And he's all feet. He's all
He's all
feet.
feet
It's
and
all
he just slide
feet. It's
tackles
all
you.
feet. Okay, slide tackle.
Water
Right.
fella.
Waterfella. Okay.
Just a dude who
Right,
thinks
this
he's
is
a
a-
Pokemon.
He's a dude who thinks he's a Pokemon. That's what it is. he goes around just like making one noise
Oh
around
my
the waterfall.
Okay.
He slide tackled the Pokedex into making him a Pokemon.
Holy shit. Okay.
Okay,
Right,
I will
dude.
give points to Azan for
Thank you.
at least having a consistent logical idea, but
come
I
on.
will
logic isn't
ultimately go with See,
Water
the
fella.
more I think about Izhar's one, it's so bad.
What?
It's so
No,
bad.
you can't pick his one.
You
just
can't
as
just
bad.
choose the worst
Yeah.
one, Deeb.
No,
This
but
is such
every time.
bollocks.
No. I'm considering. I'm talking about all of yours.
Bro, you could be a water fella if you want. You have the capacity to be water fella.
You could be.
We all have it in us to be water fella.
just
Anybody
the
could
US,
be a
just
guy.
the UK version of the Adam Sandler film Waterboy.
So literally anybody, any one of us could wear a lungi and jump off waterfalls. That's all you're saying.
And have like size 12 feet.
He just looks like my dad.
Okay, and then don't forget Ray's fucking freezer burn.
And the flying fridge, because, okay, I'm gonna actually have to give it to Rayhan.
Yeah, to be honest, I really liked his as well.
Because the thing is...
Mine was an
Azan,
actual Pokemon.
It was,
I
but
am
I feel
beautiful.
like yours
What
was
is the
a...
fucking...
It's
Can
because
you
I am beautiful.
Imagine
I
the
thought of
people
it so
of the
quick.
Bangalore region,
Azan,
Azan, looking up
it was
and
great.
seeing a fridge flying.
But
That's
it was
amazing.
Imagine
kinda
how much
boring.
hope that fridge inspires to the Bangladeshi people.
Literally just because you made it
Can your
legendary,
Pokemon
that's
just
such
scream?
bollocks.
It just screams. All it does is scream because it's on fire. Ah!
He just flies over every week, every Sunday, and that's. Help me!
Alright, okay, guys.
Put me out my
Guys.
misery!
You should, there was an actual anime with Pokemon Sun and Moon, and there's literally like the voice acting for the Pokemon was just a man screaming.
It's got Gus the Lord. or
Gus
something,
Lord,
right?
yes,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
ah!
Shit.
That
Okay,
is
right,
actually
so,
my
yeah.
Pokemon's cry. Incredible. So fuck you guys. I'm incredible. I'm so
I liked
beautiful.
it. The water fella is a close
we're
second,
never,
but
we're
hey.
never having guests on this fucking
Look,
podcast together.
okay. Your idea was cool and all, but I feel like it was a bit of a cope out.
Oh, water fella.
And
likes
on that
Fine.
note,
He
Thank
got
you so
freezer
much.
burned.
oh fuck off.
Thanks for coming on
Thank
the
you for
show.
joining on the Waterfella podcast.
The water fella
the-
podcast, Ray.
But yeah, thanks for joining us
Yeah,
on
no,
the
man.
Thank
Gaming
you.
podcast.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
Yes,
I'm really glad that I got to do this with you guys and just reminisce and share this
Awesome.
with you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I want you to do one thing. Can you go ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba right now? Just alone. Go it. A solo. Just do ba-da-ba.
Alright, here we-